Instead, for all the times of some promises dead, I had nightmares along the way. I made prayers in vain. I've waited so long to catch my breath. Hello, everybody. Good evening, or some cases, I guess, good morning. Happy Monday morning there. We are here for the AEW review post show. I am Bobby Munson. Beside me, Melball Collins, and right down below, LFG Laura Goodnight. How are you doing? How did you enjoy the event?
Oh, sure, yeah. Bobby and I had the privilege of watching it together, and you got all the unfiltered Melball reactions that you could possibly ask for in this. Lauren, what did you think?
I had a wonderful time. There were some great curves that I was not expecting. I don't know, man. Some of these decisions were sort of conflicting for me, but I had such a good time. Yes. Until we start going into like actual descriptives. Yes. This was a 5-star show.
Nice. Yes. And we got people joining us in the chat tonight. Of course,
oh my God.
Ashton, how you doing? Yes. And the sick intro. Yes. I didn't have a chance to update with the actual changes to the card, but it's there. It works. The song's awesome. So that
I was about to say, isn't the music fucking rad?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's actually brought to us by OnLap. They do royalty-free, copyright-free music that they share and encourage people to do. We've reached out to them before, and we have used their music on various shows. That is their newest release, so definitely go check them out over on the YouTube side. Basser, good evening. How are you doing? Good to see you out here. We also got Chris Parrish in the chat saying hello to Basser, but, Parrish, say hello to us too, brother. We got Turnbuckle Studios, Carl joining us. It's a big hello over there. And, of course, Corey MLB. Good evening, y'all. What a show. Had a blast. 8.8 for me.
Yeah.
Didn't like the Storm matchup. Really? Oh, interesting. 9.8. My bad.
Yeah,
okay,
he was... he was going off in the Tom Colliehue chat, having a good old time. This was something that I think any fan who picked up and watched, like, oh, this is one I'll watch, whatever. This is the one to pick up. This was really good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this card. There was a lot of stuff that I was very surprised by. I thought that they did it very fantastically, and we can talk all about it because let's get into some of these matches. Hold on here. We got Parrish coming into the chat. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Mel. And God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
I'm used to this kind of stuff. It's all good. But I've got my cards here, so I'm going to pretend like I wrote something down here so we can talk all about it.
None of us wrote notes.
So professional.
Well, Mel wrote notes because
no.
Brilliant. Oh, cool. None of us wrote notes.
I got my notes.
Bobby did.
I got it.
Oh, they're real notes. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were like joking.
No,
You actually have note cards. Fuck
got
yes. Okay.
Yeah,
We're here to play. Let's go.
We're good. All right, let's start it off with the 0 hour where we had 4 matches on the 0 hour. And first of all, kudos to them for doing that because it makes it worth tuning into. I enjoyed that portion of it. First one we had up was the Best Friends, Rocky Romero, and El Desperado against the Mogul Embassy. Let's get your thoughts. Starting with Lauren, what do you think of this first match on the card?
This is one I was looking forward to, and I wasn't disappointed. I thought it was very, very good. It was not either group's best match, but the outcome was perfect. I love to see Swerve, win anything. And I had a good time with that. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. And the back and forth between them, I think, was indicative of what was to come.
Yeah, it was a good way to start off the crowd. Mel, I would go to you and ask you, but I think this is where you were just joining us in, so you didn't get a chance to see this one just yet. But
yeah,
it was definitely higher energy. Yeah. But high energy, good way to kick it off. And the Toronto crowd, they're just crazy and they're always having fun. So from start to finish, they were having a good time and it was great to see. So match number 2, we had Athena taking on Billie Starkz, and I believe this is where you joined in on the action there, Mel. Into the group.
Yeah, I
during
got
this
the tail
one.
end of it. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of what you saw of this match?
I'm used to Athena. I remember seeing her as Ember Moon in WWE. I didn't catch a lot of her career kind of beforehand, but I thought this was just a really great match for her. Like, she showed off everything that I kind of expected of her. I expected the dominance out of her, but this was my first kind of introduction to Billie Starkz. Like, I'd heard about her a ton, but I hadn't actually seen a full match of hers. Technically still haven't. But what I did see was great. She's very, very feisty, speedball little thing. I think I came in when she was doing that flippy thing to Athena on the apron there. Holy hot dang. That's a really fun way to kind of bring me into the match and to the show. Anyway.
Well, and again, I think I said it in one of the chats that she's wise beyond her years because she is very young, just graduated high school. And it's hard to believe that somebody so young has grasped onto the business in this way and is out there in front of this crowd doing this. Lauren, your thoughts on this matchup?
I 100% agree with Mel. Billie was perfectly portrayed. I think that having her really fight and having it not be a squash against Athena, especially since Athena is booked so well and so strongly within ROH, and belt holder, longtime belt holder, and to have her struggle a little against this new kid, it's like seeing the mid-card equivalent of what is his name? The kid who pinned Jericho.
Action Andrade.
Action Andrade, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. It felt like that, except just, I don't know, man. It felt good. It felt like we're in for some fun.
Yeah. Speaking of fun, here's that Ecto guy, Alex, joining us in the chat. Said, what a great event tonight. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alex. glad you enjoyed yourself as well too, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. We're having a good time here tonight. Yeah, no, I thought this was great. I thought this match was a perfect example of something that could have gone onto the main card. It felt very fitting of being a main card matchup. I really, really enjoyed this. I think Billie did a fantastic job, as well as Athena, I think, is just absolutely wonderful and does fantastic every time. So another great way to kick the night off, that's for sure. We got Andre C saying that he is driving home. As you can see, Andre C, who was with us earlier today on the preview show, was out having a good old time, and I'm sure very excited about some of what went down on this card here tonight. Andre, I hope that you had a blast, my friend, and if you can, stop by and say hello as well too. But yes, next up on this opening kickoff show, we had El Phantasmo taking on Stu Grayson here. So let's go, Lauren, first to you. Your thoughts on this one?
Let's not go to me.
No.
I got pulled away.
Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, Mel, let's go to you.
This was my, I think my second time seeing ELP since he's
They're
left
amazing.
Bullet Club. And you know, it was an ELP match. And when I say that, it was exciting. He did his typical aerials that I was expecting of him, but in comparison to what I'm used to experiencing from ELP in Bullet Club and in New Japan, he's usually a lot more mouthy. He's a little bit more over the top. I was really confused about who he was facing in the beginning when they were all kind of coming out and dancing together. I was like, is it the Dreadhead that's going into the match? Like, he's certainly most excited about it. It was not the Dreadhead. Yeah, but like overall, I actually really enjoyed this match. I mean, it was exactly what I expect out of ELP, with his little walking the ropes and stuff like that. Disappointed we didn't get some of the crotch stuff that we're used to with him. Maybe he's moving away from that because he's moving away from Bullet Club. I don't know. But overall, I thought it was a solid open.
Yeah, it definitely was. Not much more I can add to that. It was a solid open, and it's been a long night, so we're going to fly through it, at least some of these to make it a little less painful on everybody. Next up, we had United Empire versus, and please help me, the Los, what is it, please?
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Thank you for the help. Mel, take us into this one.
Oh my gosh. I don't even care. I marked out so much for both of these teams coming in because I'm like, I love TJP. I love Jeff Cobb. Freaking United Empire with Kyle Fletcher too. He was kind of like leading the pack, which Andre, I'm sure, was happy about. He's kind of said that Kyle Fletcher does kind of stand in the front there, kind of like a leader. But to see LIJ come out, see how hyped Bushi was, like he almost forgot his entrance. It was so cute. Seeing the fun little Bushi mask with the kind of venom tongue thing was great. But man, oh man, when they got into this match, Takagi was just Takagiing all over everybody. He was just lariating everything. I was so happy. He was fired up. I haven't seen him this fired up in a while, and it really helped add to the energy of the match. Bushi and his topes are just, he's like a rocket. He just kind of homes in on everybody and just goes. But the United Empire, again, just so tight. They worked so well together. They flowed so well together. I was honestly really surprised with the ending of this match. And I didn't really know who to cheer for. At some points, I think I was flipping wildly back and forth between cheering for United Empire and cheering for Los Ingobernables. It was a lot of fun. Really happy that it was Takagi to pick up the win. I honestly thought that Bushi was going to take the pin because that's kind of usually how it goes. But Takagi picking up a massive win over TJP with the Last of the Dragon, I think it was.
Yeah.
Just so good.
Was, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it really was well put together. And again, that high energy level as well, too. And everything. Like, it was just, yeah, it was it was a great energy, great crowd, great fun, and a lot of these people I've just personally not used to, kind of thing. So a great introduction to me on a lot of the combatants within this matchup or throughout the entire night as a whole too. So yeah, fantastic. Can't say anything more than that. As Ecto guy, a little concerned there, Lauren. Kazoon takes.
Sorry about that. I've been dealing with some allergies I'm not really thrilled about, but I'll try and figure it out before I come on the next OLE pod.
Oh, don't worry about it. A lot of us battle it. I took some pills just before, just to make sure I wasn't sneezing throughout this thing myself too. So.
I don't know what's pollinating, but it's pollinating everywhere. Everyone is sniffly and sneezy. I know it's not COVID because I test myself and I'm constantly masked. And as you saw, I was sitting there like cleaning my hands with stuff. But this is everyone I know, like in different states, is all just stuffed up.
No, it's true. Corey saying everyone is talking about the show tonight. I have everyone's tab open tonight. Everybody is being troopers tonight because they had such a good time. So even despite the lack of sleep that some people are going to be incurring, everybody's happy to be on screen and have a good time. And we really appreciate that you're here with us as well too, Corey. The support is very much appreciated. And as Paris said, thank you for including us. We do appreciate everything that you guys do for us. That's awesome. We kick off the main card with the matchup that MJF wanted to have go on first, and he got his wish. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship match kicks off this card. Tanahashi versus MJF. This was a fantastic start to this whole thing. MJF looks better and better every single time he goes out there. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to irritate every crowd in all the right ways. And he makes you want to watch him get smacked around. And that's what makes it absolutely phenomenal to watch his matchups. Again, kind of surprised it went with him just getting the victory. I mean, the ring was involved, using a little bit of the dirty shenanigans, but nothing to drive any of the AEW storylines forward at the moment. Just a simple MJF heel victory. Thoughts on this one?
I was surprised at this match. I definitely expected it to be a lot slower than it was. It was actually surprisingly quick. Both in tempo and I think in speed. I don't feel like it was particularly one of the longest feeling ones. We had a lot of long ones.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think the only thing I was disappointed with is I don't remember seeing a dragon screw leg whip. It's the only thing I don't recall seeing.
I don't think, because I think you mentioned that a couple times while watching it, is that that never ended up coming up.
On your foot. You put it down and did something else. I was like, no, sir.
It was there for the taking.
I would have preferred to see that over the high fly flow, but the high fly flow was what led to the ending. So I understand why that needed to be there. That moonsault what was it that MJF was trying to do to Tanahashi that Tanahashi reversed, and that awkward landing on that knee that MJF was able to kind of play for the rest. I don't know what he was setting up for, but I liked how that kind of played throughout the match. And something that you had mentioned, Bobby, is that he just has those subtle nuances that he does to continue the story through the match that makes him so good at what he does. And I personally think that he's one of the best two-heel wrestlers in professional wrestling right now in AEW. So it was a really great match. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I do appreciate the little things and everything like that, and he is very good at it, selling the knee, telling that story again multiple times throughout the match, that affecting his matchup. This was great. I think that MJF is good at what he does, and AEW need to continue on having a strong heel champion so that when the right time is there to pull that trigger, you've got a perfect opportunity to put somebody over as a massive babyface hero champion when they finally conquer the devil himself, MJF, as it goes. Lauren, how do you feel about MJF still champion? I know you were on the preview show. You weren't necessarily looking forward to MJF retaining.
No, but he did, and that's fine. Honestly, it was a lovely match, and it went pretty much the way that we all thought it would, with, the spice that you need to put over a foreign wrestler as well. So I thought, it was a great way, exactly as Bobby said, to get people to sort of dip their toe in with some of these major, major names.
100% agree. From there, I know we won't spend a whole lot of time on this other than there was lot of
it's fine.
I mean, it went longer than I expected this matchup to go, but this generated some heat. That crowd did not want to see CM Punk in that building whatsoever. This was a very audible disliking for Mr. Phil here. So he was Kojima, I believe is the name. Kojima. Thank you. But there was nothing wrong with the matchup itself. The matchup itself was good, but this was a lot of opportunity for Punk to rub it in that he is the most hated individual in professional wrestling at the moment, and he is gloating in every second of it right now.
I'm not sure how he brings more heat than Don Callis, but he does.
He did? He really did?
Although
I was kind of surprised. I mean, and Callis was able to like double and triple the percentage of heat because he came back more times. But no. That was nuclear.
Did they chant fuck CM Punk though?
No, or did they?
Don Callis got a fuck Don Callis chant though.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, but there's always a fuck Don Callis chant. Like,
but
it doesn't matter
wasn't
where he goes.
Punk.
This
he
is
didn't quite reach that level of heat.
No. Not the way that trying to boo this man out the building went. These were people who were clearly 110% Kenny and the Elite fan.
I don't know what the giveaway was.
They were cheering for him.
No, you couldn't tell, right?
Not at all. Those crazy Toronto people.
They were great. That was such a crowd.
Yeah.
Highlight of the night for this match, though, was Kojima elbow dropping CM Punk in his nards.
Right in the yam bag. Right in the yam bag.
He wasn't even trying to hit the chest at that point. He was way off with his trajectory. Oh, it was great. And then his reaction afterwards, it was just so perfect. I was like, yes, he did. He totally did that. And it made my night. It's just so great. Best
I'm
part
gonna go back and rewatch that. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's bad for my karma and good for my soul.
As much as it pays you to go back on a CM Punk match, you're gonna go back just for that.
just watch him lose his ability to breed.
You're just gonna clip it and then watch it over and over again.
Over and over.
Yeah. Anyone who calls you on your phone, that'll come
morning,
up.
I'm gonna be disappointed. Like,
Sanada, to quote the inimitable, thank God, Ronda Rousey. Advil, bitch. It sticks with the person. Really, it does.
Overall, I felt that this match did go very long, but I felt that Punk gave a lot more to Kojima than I was expecting him to. I expected him to make Kojima work a lot harder for the match that he did, but I definitely felt that Kojima got a lot out of Punk in this. And yeah, he was kind of like the heat bringer for Punk in this, but I think it kind of worked. Didn't make Kojima look any weaker by taking this loss to Punk at all.
Let's Perish got here. Part of me would have loved to have seen Cole mess with MJF and have him lose, only for MJF shock the system into the.
That'd be sick.
G1 people are
The
already
climax would be sick. That would be absolutely fucking sick. Just think of the money that NJPW World could bring in. Ooh, I like that. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I'm like, this is all money. I see the money bags.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Next match?
Sure.
Sure.
Please.
All right. How about the next match? The AEW International Championship. Champion Orange Kansas City defending in a 4-way matchup. Lauren, we go to you first. What were your thoughts on this?
It was
freshly
fine.
Squeezed in match.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Maybe it's that every other match was so fucking good that I was like, I don't think I had major expectations. I figured out who the winner was going to be. I was not surprised at the way they even got there or any of it. It was there, it's your good B+ match. It's like, good job. You showed up, you did your job. You go pick up your merch check. That was fantastic. You'll be on the next pay-per-view as well. It's that kind of thing. It was good work. It wasn't special.
I have a feeling
I want to be nice about it, but it just wasn't special. It didn't make me want to go, oh yeah.
Yeah, I get the impression.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just going to say, I get the impression this is Orange Cassidy's spot forever, winning these matchups on these cards in exactly this position.
Yeah, it feels that way. And the only thing that's really giving that any sense of legitimacy is the title. That's keeping it off lower mid card, is that there's this title almost that's elevating him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mel, your thoughts? Because I know you were really looking forward to hopefully Zack Sabre Jr. walking away. Possibly.
I was.
He didn't get enough spotlight, in my opinion.
I was having some technical difficulties at this point, where Bobby and I were trying to figure out why my feed was laggy and his was not. From what I saw of this, I agree. I didn't see a whole lot of Zack Sabre Jr. because I could hear the audio the entire time. And usually when Zack Sabre Jr. is in the ring, you know Zack Sabre Jr. is the ring because he never shuts the fuck up. Yes. So I didn't hear him a lot. So that told me that he wasn't in there a lot. I did hear Shibata's kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see the picture of the kick, but I heard the kick. And holy hot dang, guy still got it.
There's a reason
I heard there was a dance. Some kind of hip gyration that nobody appreciated, and someone got beat up for it. But when I heard that, I got the feedback normal when Cassidy pulled the win. So I was kind of like, wow, won't. Okay, now on to the next one. From what I could hear, I mean, the commentary certainly made it more exciting than what I could see. Because, again, I couldn't see much. But, it don't really have too much of an opinion on this one because, again, I kind of heard it as opposed to saw it. But what I did hear sounded cool.
It was not bad. It was definitely, like, I was a straight A student, so a B or a B+ is always in my head as, like, the, it's pretty good. And so that's sort of where I put it is the B+ A-. And the only reason it's so almost like middling and low is because the next matches were just so fucking tight.
The excitement level kicks off from there for sure. And just quickly, kudos to Kevin Kelly, who I think AEW should get to work pay-per-views all the time, because that man held it together and made it so much better. So much better.
He looks so dapper in his suit and tie.
Yeah.
He looked great. So he did a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. lot of great outfits throughout the night, and some of those we'll get to.
Yes.
So next match is, I would say, the sleeper hit match of the night, the one we forgot to even talk about initially on the preview show this morning.
Yeah.
Jack Perry with Hook in his corner taking on Sanada. Wow. This was a lot better than I was expecting it to be in every great sense of the word. This was solid. And before we even get to what happened after the match, I want to get your thoughts on the matchup. Starting with yourself, Mel. What do you think of this one?
I'm just going to flat out say I hate Sanada's new music. I hate it.
That's
it doesn't
fair.
fit him. It doesn't fit the character. I don't even know what he's supposed to be. He dresses like a waterbender from Avatar. He comes out to this crazy electrical guitar music, and then he has like no charisma. I don't know where the charisma came from in this match. Like, sir, whatever you got, take it with you, bring it home, utilize it there also. This match was so much better than it looked like on paper. Like, it was literally so forgettable that we forgot about it on the show. But then they came out and I was like, wow, this was great. The back and forth with these guys trying to one up each other. And Perry, I guess for the ending of the match, there was rumblings. He's really effing around and finding out with Sanada, trying to pull off all of his own moves on him and then being shown why he's not the IWGP champion that Sanada is. The Paradise Lock attempt was adorable. The skull end was freaking me out because as soon as he started to put it in, I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Because how crazy would it be for Perry, Jungle Boy Kid, to actually pin a world champion in his own yard on a pay-per-view? That would have been insane. But man, Sanada's just Sanada. That TKO was kind of like the beginning of the end for little Perry boy there.
That's where his finish ended up happening. Before we go to your thoughts, Lauren, Pear's saying he should have done a remix of "Oh Canada," but "Oh Sanada."
No.
Hey, I mean, Chris Charlton has been doing a lot of lyrical genius stuff for Just Five Guys and making their entrance music a lot more palatable. So, like, why not? Tweet it out, Parrish. We can get lyrics by the end of the show.
Put it in there.
Go for it.
They answer us quite regularly. You'll probably get an answer.
Lauren, your thoughts on this matchup?
Again, I was expecting a charisma vacuum. I was expecting, no joy, no light, no elevated himbo energy, nothing. And we ended up getting a very sound match where we saw what Jack was coming to do, which was have a massive heel turn. And it was very well orchestrated. I thought the fact that he was trying to just push every single button on Sanada and just, it's almost like it got under his skin. Truly, maybe like in real life, shoot, serious. It might have gotten under his skin just a little when Sanada was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah. Now I got to know from both of you though about the aftermath, what we got, because as we're standing there watching, and I'm thinking, top of the ramp, something's got to happen here. Is it going to be Hook? And then Mel, I know you mentioned that as well too. Is Hook going to be the one to attack Jungle Boy? And we did not get that at all.
No.
Suddenly, Jack Perry has got an attitude about him and has some problems, and really laid it into young Hook there. So I want to get both your thoughts on this heel turn that we saw happen.
With myself, I mean, I don't watch AEW regularly, so I didn't really know that there was kind of something going on. But like just the camera angle when they were kind of walking out, I was like, oh yeah, okay. And like with Hooky being kind of like moody broody one, it was like, oh okay, moody broody is gonna destroy the Sundance Kid over here, and then there's going to be like some ultimate showdown of good and evil, and then something crazy is going to happen. I don't know. No, that was not what I was expecting at all. That was the opposite of what I was expecting. But I think it's going to be
he's
good
a
for you
full
fans.
moody broody face right now, and the FTR championship was sort of like, it was super heely and all that other stuff, but right now he's pretty much a face, and that's sort of thanks to Danhausen. Again, the man just ran through that locker and made some stars, ran through that locker room and made some stars, then got hurt and left. But the heel turn for Jack Perry has been a while coming, and his wrestling has become more, as you said, cheeky. And I don't know. I feel like I've seen this coming a while. I'm not sure, everybody has, but at this point, it's what were they going to do with him?
True. Yeah.
What were they going to do with Jack Perry that they haven't already tried? They had him in a successful tag team. He's had a fairly successful singles run. He's done all this while being a face, while being a successful face, while being an unsuccessful face. He's done all of this stuff. And it's like, where do you go? And heel territory time. Let's see if the man can act.
Yeah, we will find out very, very soon, of course, as questions will be asked of him. I'm certain of that. But overall, yeah, definitely a surprise in every sense of the word. The match was a surprise. The finish, the aftermath, great job. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, so kudos to them. Up next was and I am not saying everybody's names in this, so we've got the Blackpool Combat Club plus guests versus the Elite plus guests.
The Blackpool Combat Club, Konosuke Takeshita and Shota Umino versus the Young Bucks and Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii.
Yes, okay. And Ishii's just fun to watch. He's
great. The Pitbull is
treasure, that man.
The Pitbull is everything. Yes.
Like when he walks to the ring, he looks like he should not be able to move at all. And then he just starts going, and you're like, okay, don't get in his way because you're going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we saw several people get in his way.
Yeah, including Darby Allin at the start of the match. Maybe pushing the wrong buttons for sure. But Lauren, let's get your thoughts on this match first.
I loved this. Mel, you had said this was probably going to be a very chaotic match.
Beautiful, beautiful chaos.
It was absolute chaos. And I think we were both super right. You said it was going to be chaos. I said there were going to be storylines that were pushed forward, and there absolutely were. And they were very clear cut within the chaos. So we got all of this massive energy. Plus this, finally we get the extension of the Mox Eddie stuff. Finally, we get to sort of see how the Young Bucks are going to work as a unit. It was great. I had a great time. This was a fun match. There were some little slips and mistakes, but it wasn't enough to bring down the overall quality, I thought.
Yeah, and that Toronto crowd was loving every minute.
They were crazy.
Either that or they were paid a lot of money to plug the name of the video game all night long. Mel, your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I saw the Young Bucks come out, I was like, pass. I've not been a big fan of the Young Bucks. But this match was very, very solid. I really, really did enjoy this. There's so many kicks. But then again, like, man, Ishii coming in with that sliding lariat at one point out of nowhere. Who did he hit with that?
Oh, shoot.
I feel like it was
I don't
Yuta,
know because they've been
Yuta
taken
was
off to
just getting
census. Damn.
worked. Yuta just has this problem I'm noticing, and at least he had this problem in NJPW of just getting absolutely worked by everybody at the end of the match. The poor guy. Ishii did not slow down with that man. It was like,
Nope. He took him to the back.
yeah. And then how do you say the other guy's name? I was calling him armbands because I don't remember.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, holy heck, when him and Ishii squared up, first of all, that man is massive. Not Ishii, the other one.
No, yeah,
Ishii
Takeshita
smaller
is
than me.
huge. He is
Yeah.
just stunningly large.
Yeah, and like dashingly handsome, I will say, but he leveled Ishii with that forearm at one point, and I was like, is he legit out? Because Ishii just hit the ground like a freaking ragdoll and his arms hanging off the side of the ring. I'm like, he be dead. We just witnessed murder. Like, and then they just kind of dragged him out. Like, no, he's good. Go mess with somebody else. We got this. Like, no, my guy, don't just give him an ice pack. Like,
this is NJPW extended. You give him the blue ice pack and put him back in there.
And that's exactly what they did, because my goodness, not long after, he fed Yuta that lariat. And I have to say, though, I did not enjoy. I see how the story went, because the emotion behind it was phenomenal. But every time Moxley and Kingston got into the ring, it was just chop, 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 chop. You're capable of more shit. Do more shit. Don't just chop. Do other shit. And then the singlets, just leave them on.
It's not important if it isn't titties out.
It's not the titties that I had the problem with.
What'd you have a problem with?
Oh my gosh.
What'd you have a problem with? I don't get it.
Kingston's not a very nice looking dude. And I didn't like when he pulled the singlet down way, way too far. I was worried that he was going to get pantsed. But that being said, the belt was pretty cinched. Moxley and him had a pretty good bout with it anyway. I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy the chopping. The tenderizing titties has had to be limited a little bit, I think, with those two. But again, I understood how it had played into the emotion of what was happening in that moment with that story. So AEW is not the storylines that I was very, very clear on what was happening, but I enjoyed how this match ended also with just more chaos. It was just so much chaos, but it was glorious chaos and it was organized chaos. And the chaos kind of ended up becoming this, we'll say, like a patch of wildflowers that you didn't expect to bloom into something beautiful and magical.
Oh, and this whole conversation has really got Parrish thinking down the wrong path here, but that's nothing new.
I was not paying attention to what he was saying. So
this is where we got
free the
going.
No,
Yeah.
man, not quite the same. You're not kicked out, but I think you are misunderstanding the colloquial use of titties within wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing here. We got a first-time chatter. I'm not familiar with these emojis that he's got, and his name is something. Yeah. Thanks for joining in. I don't know if I'm going to say the name out loud, but mind you, we're talking about other things on here. I'm sure that YouTube's already going to ban us. It's okay. So, hello, Sir Corndog.
Oh dear.
We'll go that far anyway. But moving on from there, we have championship action. We got the AEW's Women's Championship, Toni Storm versus Willow Nightingale. And I know that wasn't someone saying that they didn't like this one earlier in the chat? Was that Corey MLB? Maybe
yeah, Corey wasn't digging on this one. I thought it was great. I had a good fucking time. No, it was good. It was functional. It did what it had to. Made everybody look decent. We knew Toni was going to walk away. At least, entertain us from the bell to what we know what's going to happen. I think they performed.
And just so you know, Chris Best, what you just came into is our AEW review that has been just so much more and so much more entertaining than your average everyday review. I am having an absolute blast because everybody's tired, delusional, but smiling at the same time. It's awesome. Yes. I'm also trying to buy a little bit of time because I know that the next match after this is one that Andre wants to talk about, and I know he's racing home just to come tell us all excitedly about the next matchup. But in the meantime, and in between time,
please don't die on the way home, Andre.
Yes.
Do we want to go to the match after so that he can definitely?
We might have to go back to it just to save face for Andre. But before that, Mel, we got to get your thoughts on Toni Storm, Willow, Nightingale.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I really hadn't seen a whole ton of Willow beforehand, but everything I'm seeing now, I'm really, really loving. I feel that her gaining that title, the NJPW Strong Women's title, was the most destiny happening moment for her to kind of push her onto a different path of her career, and I'm living for it. I'm really living how she's stepped up. She's really owning it, and I love her positivity thing. The gimmick that she has become something that I absolutely love. And then pairing it with that super naughty thing that the girls are doing with Ruby and Saraya. How do you say her name? Is it Saraya? Saraya and Toni, that bad girls, that mean girl kind of mentality, it pairs off so nicely with that. And I felt that energy kind of was able to be played on, especially with the shenanigans on the outside that we knew were going to come. I felt it was done very rightly. It wasn't like a House of Torture mess where it was just again. It was one of those things that just flowed so well and made sense. And that for me is a very important thing. It needs to make sense. And they played it very, very well. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
The Outcasts have at times been kind of an obnoxious group, but I agree with you. It was played perfectly this time, and they were ejected at the perfect time. It worked towards the vibe was right. The vibe was right because the Outcasts were a supporting character.
And the nice thing here too is that Willow walks out of this still looking really, really strong, kind of getting cheated out of her victory. So it's good, strong booking. This was better for Toni, obviously, after what happened at Double or Nothing. This was a better outing for her in general. And again, like Mel said, I love Willow's positivity, that kind of character. She's just an addictive person. She goes out there and right away that charisma comes across, it shines, and you just want to watch what Willow's going to do. It was a loss to lose her on the MLW side, but I'm glad I'm getting to continue to watch her career as it develops more and more, especially on a bigger stage like this too. And we're going to skip the next match because Andre's
coming. He's coming.
Oh, look at this. Look at the timing on this. Wow. Andre, impeccable.
Hey, Andre,
awesome.
what you doing?
Right here. Yeah. Perfect. Gosh darn timing, baby.
Well,
that's Andre.
Yeah. So, seeing as we're talking about this match, I'm going to let you take the lead on your thoughts on it, Andre. Omega versus Ospreay was the next one on the card. Did you like this?
Did I like this? This is now match of the year for me. This match is absolute. I thought this was incredible. This, the way they reversed a lot of the stuff you saw from, you see Ospreay just smashing Omega's head into the thing at ringside, just all the little shots you saw that played off of everything from before, and just the way these two interacted with each other. And I know Mel's, but Don Callis' addition to Ospreay, I think, helped in the situation of the night. I don't want Callis with Ospreay after this. No fucking way. But on tonight, I absolutely thought it was he did a great job working him and helping him, giving him the screwdriver. I think just these two absolutely, I thought, had an incredible match together. I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. I really thought this was gonna be a screwy finish, and it all culminated all in. But now Ospreay, I think, is gonna get that definitive win at All In to end this rivalry, because I'm just like, yes, when at the bar, I was so happy. I was so happy seeing Ospreay get that win.
You can't
said
tell
there
it
wasn't
all.
a screwy ending. There was definitely a screwy ending. There was a screwdriver.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty screwy.
Yeah, it was screwy, but you know what I mean. I mean, it meant something like that. Ospreay wouldn't get the title out of it or something to set up Wembley, but I can't wait to see these two go at Wembley. Because what are they going to do to top both these matches? That's my biggest question, because that was two incredible match of the year matches.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Andre was in love with this one.
Yep.
Unanimously, I believe that we could say that for sure. Hold on. We got Corey coming in. If it wasn't for Callis, Kenny probably would have retained. And that was, I think, what Callis was there to do, to assure that didn't happen tonight. And Melball, I know that you weren't too fond of seeing Callis out there, but the crowd gave you what you wanted, especially with the fucked on Callis chant that you received.
Yes. Yes, I was giving myself a mini aneurysm trying to bring out my mutant powers to try to force crush his head. It didn't work. Didn't work.
Yeah.
He returned for seconds.
Fucked on Callis will be fine.
They took care of you at least, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
No,
match wise, like this your cup of tea? Did you like this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Will Ospreay he's just absolutely incredible. The talent that he has, as Andre mentioned, that as soon as he started slamming Kenny Omega's head into the table, I was like, hey, that's kind of just like what Omega did to you at Wrestle Kingdom. Oh, that's the point, isn't it? Ospreay was just pulling out his signatures as much and as hard as possible, getting the Oz cutter on the apron, doing that thing that he does in the corner that I mentioned to you that I just shudder at, where he traps the head in the turnbuckle. Andre, what is it called?
The cheeky Nando's kick.
That's what I thought it was. I had no idea. He had to hit a couple Stormbreakers also on Kenny Omega to be able to finally pick up that win, and countless hidden blades. And let's actually not get started on how much he bled, because that was kind of disgusting.
It was beautiful. He had a full crimson mask. I was very impressed.
Yeah, so did Omega after he freaking flipped on him and just drenched him with that nasty.
That was hilarious.
He had a crimson chest going on, dude. How much blood was coming out?
Yeah,
just so much no. I am not a death match,
but
girl.
It was a pretty bloody match.
It might be my favorite female wrestler, but no, death match, blood, no. Keep that in your body. You need that to live.
Well, for an opposing view on the blood and chaos, Lauren, what did you think of this matchup?
Fuck yeah! Kick each other in the nuts.
Okay, that was cool though.
Slice each other's fucking faces off. Let's go.
No.
That long into the night, I needed something that had violence energy with a capital V, and the vibe was all I needed. It was really compelling to watch them just hate each other on an even more visceral level than the Kenny and Okada matches, on an even more visceral level than the Kenny and Jericho matches in NJPW. Though, that grudgy kind of fight, this was even nastier. It felt like this was filthy. This was as filthy as I could see Ospreay being.
And
I don't see him as being a big, huge cheat. He's, if I remember correctly, he's like a mini sometimes cheat. And And so while this wasn't out of character, it also wasn't crazy because he did take the screwdriver of doom to Kenny's head, which is becoming an AEW thing now. You have to like look at the screwdriver. If you know it's coming, it's like the gun on the wall in a Chekhov play. You know what's coming. Kenny Omega or Jon Moxley or Adam Page are going to get a screwdriver to the face. It's just what happens. So I'm, I was not disappointed. I found the match not to be gross because we've had some gross blood running down the face matches in the last couple of months. And that can even get me a little squeamish at times. But there was nothing too over the top with this one. I thought it was really good. I had a good time.
Very, very fair.
This was honestly, if you want to talk about like the Meltzer of it, this is like, it would have been 8 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. This was if it had been the Tokyo Dome, 8 stars. This is absolutely another one of those brilliant 5-star matches that Meltzer will make like 6.25 or something for.
For sure. Going back to some of these comments here, Chris, my favorite spot was Ospreay and his treatment of the Canadian flag. It was GP, but it was good GP, as Parrish mentions. That just means it's good heat. He did more than just that, in fact, and his ability to cross customs on his way out of Canada came into question here tonight, because not only did he play not so nice with our flag, he may have paid homage to he who shall not be mentioned in this matchup as well too, while asserting a little bit of heat there that got Will Ospreay some very not so flattering chants from the Toronto crowd. So a hell of a match. Very interesting way to go about your heat, but it worked. Will Ospreay did fantastic, and he walks away the champion, and didn't see that coming. I did not think that we were going to have that title change hands here tonight, and what a pleasant surprise. Very pleasant surprise.
Right down. Mel was right. Mel was right.
Yep. And
I don't want to say I told you so, but
you should. You should bask in it.
But I did tell you so. I said crowns up. That's what I said.
You did. You got this one. 110%.
I got one. I got one. I'm doing great.
Well, we got 2 more to talk about. So as this night carries on, before our main event, we had the team of Naito.
Just Night with an O. Naito.
Yeah, Naito. It's not that hard. I promise.
Naito. I was only doing it for the whole entrance.
I know. See, I had it during the entrance, but then I kept my night going, which always turns into mush.
It's true.
But teaming up alongside Darby, Allin, and Sting to take on Suzuki, Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. Lauren, I'm going to go over to you first on this one. What are your thoughts on this match?
I don't know. They needed to have something there to sort of be a bathroom break, be a moment between that catharsis match of Ospreay Omega, and to, again, not forgettable at all. Naito was the most unforgettable part of it. But seeing Suzuki flourish was cool. He wants this crowd, and this crowd wants him. They were giving him the murder grandpa chant, and he just kind of looked around. He was like, murder grandpa. It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. I don't know. Secret sweetheart Suzuki.
And then, of course, he had that posing moment, too, as well, during the
cool.
matchup.
Oh, my
with
God, yes.
Like this. I was saying to Mel that was kind of like the grandpa that thinks he's really cool, that photo bombs all his grandchildren's pictures.
Oh, this thing?
this thing.
Yeah, he was making fun of Les Sex Gods. He was a part of that thing that Les Sex Gods do.
The Suzuki gods. Come on.
Well, Melball, your thoughts on this matchup?
I think I scared the shit out of you when I Kaze Nina raid, even though I warned you significantly in advance and like immediately before that it was happening. You don't want a late night visit from Murder Grandpa. So you got to always make sure you Kaze Nina raid. I don't have tons to add. I did feel I mentioned the face paint of Sting at one point. I was like, I understand now why he did it. Because when the camera came out, like he was kind of intimidating looking still with that really neat face paint. Darby Allin, when he got in with Suzuki, I started laughing. It was like, what are you doing, child? Get out of there. He's going to murder you. And he straight up did.
And he did.
Like, he worked him like a 9 to 5 and back again. It was insane, but I loved it. Naito is just treasure. I love him. I didn't feel he did anything crazy substantial in the match, but it was nice to have him there. I got to mark out for it. I was happy. Yeah, don't have a ton to add to that one.
That's what it's all about. Andre, your thoughts on this one?
So we're all talking about that moment when Darby got in with Suzuki. I said it to Adam and Mike because Chris and Ben had already left at this point. I said, "Look, it's a little Suicide Boy versus Murder Grandpa."
Oops.
He keeps trying to kill. Like this kid is going to kill himself at one point with the shit he does. So I was like I was just like, Jesus Christ, Suzuki might actually give him what he wants and kill him. Like Jesus Christ. Like,
Suzuki's gonna take him off the census.
There you go, dude. I thought like when you had Darby, especially versus Suzuki, there, I absolutely loved it. I thought that was so good. But like Suzuki is such a great character in the fact that he can play such a goofy dude that he does with Jericho, but he's also this guy that you never want to see in a dark alley because you know he'd kill you. And it's just I thought it was a really fun match. I thought Sting looked sort of out of place at points. It's a little criticism there. I don't know. And I really am not looking forward to seeing Sting versus Jericho. Just
Bobby, was this the match where Sting got dropped on his head in that weird pile driver thing?
Was it Sting? I don't remember.
No, that was the match before.
No.
Oh, was that Omega?
Yeah,
that was
Omega.
Yeah,
Ospreay dropped Omega real weird. Like that was
it was a Gonzo bomb. Yeah, that's old
looked like an
Japanese
upside down lawn chair is what it looked like.
He did in fact do a career-ending drop on him, and I know, like I talked to Bobby, like that is like I'm uncomfortable even looking at the replay on that, but you know he continued the match. Everything is fine.
All right, Sting went through the table.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then came back to life about 30
Sting went through
seconds
the
later.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, and then was suddenly alive again in a few seconds. Like, wow.
Yeah, Guevara like sacrificing himself for such an incredible spot, and Sting's back up just like, and he's hobbling along the side of the ring in the ring when Jericho was pitting. Somebody.
I complained about this too.
Yes, I was just like, what are you doing? Again, that was where I was finding I was finding little things from Sting where he'd be in position, you should be doing something, but you're just kind of flat out ignoring what's going on. I noticed it a few times.
Being pinned. Break up the pin. You're literally right there. You just had to extend your foot.
Well, actually, we've got an update here. Breaking news, almost you could say, from Corey saying update on Sting. He was on the media show. He got checked out before they went live. He is okay. No concussion.
I mean, the match would suggest otherwise.
Yes. He definitely seemed like he was showing his age and not knowing where he was at times. That's for sure. But, overall, not bad. It obviously is setting up that inevitable Sting and Jericho thing. I know some people are probably a little bit more excited about that than others. I'm on the others side of the fence. It's just because there's nothing wrong with these two. I think both of them are great. I think that they've been legendary. I just have no need to see them in 2023 at their ages going in a one-on-one feud at all. Look who's joining the crew here. It's Ed. This is why Sting needs to be a non-in-ring talent. Jericho, I feel the same way about personally. Sting wrestling at his age worries me. Anybody wrestling after the age of 40 worries me. So,
You can't look at Finn Balor and say that to me.
well,
I was
okay.
gonna
He's
say,
my age.
90%. 90%.
What
Okay.
about Kojima?
What
Dude's
about
52.
AJ Styles? What about
oh,
Murder
Bobby,
Grandpa?
keep digging
Minoru
in.
Suzuki.
Sorry, man.
I
Sorry,
started
man. We
something, didn't I?
put the level on that at 55 now because people just take better care of their bodies than they used to.
I was gonna say,
Like
don't
Sting-
tell him
Sting's
how
in
old
his
Murder
60s.
Grandpa is.
Yeah, like Murder Grandpa's in his 50s, but like Sting's in his 60s. I think, yeah, at this point he should be. The fact that he keeps it to
Yes.
limiting himself to the ring, I do appreciate, because I don't want to see Sting as a regular in ring person. I don't want to see him wrestle at all. That's a personal feeling. But yeah,
Jericho battled a water bottle at a reporter by mistake. Jericho, he probably does a few things by mistake, but and I agree with Ed. Jay White is needed. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I'm glad Ed brought that up.
I'm actually surprised he didn't make an appearance.
Yeah, I am too. Like maybe he was getting the advertisement ready for Ed there, so he didn't have time to appear on screen tonight. That's it. Think about this: in 2023, AEW is making Sting, Jericho, and Jeff Jarrett relevant. This all truth right there. So,
that makes me so sad right
100%,
now.
yes.
but let's talk about relevant, and let's talk about a main event that I loved. This is me. It was the match of the
It
night
was
because
so
this is my type of thing. I love both these guys 100%. If nothing else was good on this card, I would have still been okay because of this matchup. But everything else, there was so much good on this card that I loved a lot. But this still stood out. Really, really liked it. Did not see the finish coming. That happened, especially the way it did. And I'm okay with that in every sense of the word. Mel, first, your thoughts on this one.
Oh man, I think I startled you again with the amount of rainmakers that I just randomly popped up in the middle of the match. Just randomly too, just no rhyme or reason. I mean, the pose I obviously rainmaker too, but there's no reasoning to my random outbursts of excitement. Rainmaker making it rain, also raining Okada money on the people there, and I had to show off my money to Bobby, which I didn't bring upstairs with me. The shotgun drop kicks by Okada, just drop kicks in general by that man, are just insane. The height that he can get. The only person that does them, I think, maybe comparable, is going to be Andre's favorite there, Kevin Knight. He's the only one who can match the height of Okada. Yeah. But he's not quite at the shotgun drop kick level that Okada is at, because gosh dang, he caught Bryan with those a couple times. Daniel Bryan, I said it wrong again, didn't
it
I?
It doesn't matter. We all know who you mean.
That guy. The braids. I liked him. Nice touch.
So
made him look really touch. I know they were functional, but it was still a nice aesthetic change for me. These two had an incredible freaking match. I mean, Okada was just, I don't think used to the outside stuff there. I was used to seeing him usually pop a drop kick over the barricade, but I was happy with the random dope. It looked great. Yeah, these guys fought so hard. The ending was definitely a shocker to me. Was not expecting that. The way he tied him up was something similar to what I think I've seen Azumi do in Stardom. It just looked so funky. I don't even, how do you even begin to describe to people what that freaking thing was?
I would say, yeah, I would say how to describe it. Turn on your TV and go watch.
Yeah, there's no way to freaking describe it. You watch it from a different angle. You'll see something different. It's crazy.
But
that is so good.
Oh, fantastic. So good. Andre, I want to get your thoughts on this one.
It's the final countdown. When that started playing, me, Mike, and Adam we all just went. We started freaking out in the bar when that music started playing. It's like, we got it, they got it. Because and then Mike said, I guess the original owners of that song sold the song to another group, and because I guess the reason why Khan wouldn't pay for it because it was insanely expensive, but another group now owns the song, the rights to the song. They must not be charging as much because he pulled it for this show. And dude, I was so excited. But Bryan looked like, I love the hair. The hair looked absolutely incredible. Like, I thought the way he did it, so good. Screw you, Ed. Screw you so much.
I gotta put it up so that we know the context.
Oh, I am going to reach through this camera.
That
Rip you
aneurysm that I was
bald-headed,
having
boy.
earlier, Lauren is having now.
Huh?
That aneurysm that I was having earlier, you're having now.
A little bit. It's fine.
No, but
Way to go, Ed.
I've been wanting, like I said on the pre-show, I've been watching Okada since 2015, and this is the guy I've wanted to see face Bryan Danielson since that day. I thought these two could have working together could have an incredibly great match, and god damn did we get it. Again, I thought these two just worked so fluidly together. Like, it didn't seem like either had any friction with the other when they were going through things. It just, I thought everything was just so perfection with these two, and I did not see Bryan winning that match. But absolutely incredible, and the way he turned him, where I'm just like, holy shit, Okada's like the way Okada can bend his arms back was absolutely insane. Oh, what the frick, Mike?
First, Corey saying, I hope they fight it all out or all in. It's all.
Yep. I would love that. I would love to have him back.
But yeah, Mike, thank you for stopping by with this, because this is awesome to talk about here. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Danielson fractured his arm during the match, 6 to 8 weeks out. Mike, do you happen to know approximately when? Because the fact that he carried that on with a fractured arm is mind-boggling, and still capable of what they did. Like, wow. Well, now that we dropped that bomb,
arm in the last 5 minutes at least of that match.
Like, I thought he was just selling, like, because there was, he had it noticeably not being used at certain points. But now that we dropped that news, Lauren, I follow that up. What did you think?
Well, damn.
Seeing him actively go after the yes chant was really cool for me, because he hasn't done that. He's very proactively been like, no, we're not going to have yes chants when I do this shit anymore. This is not who I am. This is not stuff that I do. And he brought it back for this. And then he brought Final Countdown. It was like, this was peak Danielson. It was beautifully done. I am so sorry he got hurt. I'm so mad about that. But if any match was the match to get hurt on, it had to be this, because a belt wasn't on the line. It was only honor, and just damn. The fake concussion was crazy. I was very impressed with the quality of the fake concussion. I mean, I knew they weren't going to keep a camera on him if he had a real concussion. We've seen how AEW handles that with Adam Page. So it absolutely wouldn't have had a thing on him at all. And I was like, that is a convincing post-concussion brainstorm kind of thing going on. I was kind of impressed. And then it went on a little long, and I was kind of bored. And then I realized what it was leading to. And good job. Fair play, man. Fair play, Daniel Bryan.
Yep. And he got the job done. He got the victory. Very, very good match.
And he showed who truly was the best in the world.
He did indeed. He did indeed. And what a card. I want to get each of your thoughts, maybe like an approximate letter grade that you would give this show, or if you want to grade it out of 10, your choice, of course. But I'll start with you, Lauren. What would you give the show?
There were its ebbs and flows. I think it was an extraordinarily long show. Like, for length, A+. I love a long show. But for this, I don't know. When you put like sort of the matches in, but you factor in 0 Hour, which was really good. A-.
A-.
American A-, so 92.
And we got Corey giving her an A+ at a 9.5 right there. Mike said he could have fractured his arm just before the concussion spot, and they were just reevaluating how to navigate it. And that would have been a brilliant opportunity for them to re-navigate that too, Mike. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he was nursing the arm slightly before that, so that might have been probably about that time. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make total sense for sure. Mel, great on this one. What would you give this show?
It was long. It was very long. I'm going to go with about an A. There was a few more down. Don Callis brought it down a little bit for me.
So an 8. All right.
Yeah.
An A or an 8?
A, letter A. Sticking
Letter
with your
A,
rating
damn.
Because
That's
like
high
the
praise.
ends were enough to bring it down a bit, but the bangers were enough to bring it back up. It was kind of like a whoopity 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 night.
Yeah, I like that assessment. The whoopity night.
All professional sounding.
Ed saying everything AEW is long, buddy. I taped it for you. I recorded it on VHS. It's there for you, bud.
VHS.
Including the massive schlong that it's smacking Ed with.
Andre, what would you give this show a rating on?
I give it a UE. No, A plus. A plus show tonight. I wasn't disappointed by anything. Sanada and Jack Perry outperformed what I thought they were going to do. I was not disappointed by anything on this show. I had a great time. Pre-show, everything. I had fun. I'm going with A plus. Like I think this is the best overall show of the year I've watched.
Oh, it was very strong. I got to go ahead and give it an A-. I really enjoyed it. I think that there was a lot here to enjoy, whether it doesn't matter what type of wrestling that you preferred. There was stuff here for everybody, and there was a lot of good, and the good completely outweighed any of the little nitpicky things that you could pick apart from it. Again, like you said, the matches that didn't really quite get there were enough to bring it back a little bit, but all the bangers, like Mel was saying, like those just bring it right back. And that Toronto crowd added to it. Kevin Kelly on commentary added to it all. It was awesome. Ed saying off topic since I missed the beginning. Mel and Andre, thoughts on Willow and Julia. Oh, Jesus.
I just read about this. Julia challenged Willow Nightingale for the NJPW Strong title. She wants to face her. I want that match. Julia is one of my 3 favorite women's wrestlers going right now. And God, yes. Please, God, yes. Please, God, yes.
She's Donna Del Mondo, not God's Eye, honey.
Yeah, but please, God, yes. Please, Donna, yes. Please, Donna, yes. Please, Donna, yes.
There you go. I'm all for it. I feel like the strong product is obviously more based in North America. And I think the North American environment community needs to be subjected to more stardom wrestlers. And I think Julia is the perfect person to kind of bring that over. She's got that ever-changing style. She's like a chameleon. It's like week to week, month to month, she's got a different hairstyle, a different gear style, a different theme, a different thing. Like, I've watched her go from being a baseball person to a techno person to a mafia person. Now I don't know what she is, but she looks freaking cool.
She's a straight up gangster now.
She really, yeah, with box braids. Like, it's freaking cool. She's one of the Artists of Stardom champions right now. She's trilingual, so she can actually communicate to us worldly English speakers. She can communicate to us, but she can also translate everything that she does in the ring to us in a way that we can understand. I think Willow and her together are going to have a banger of a match. And Julia is so innovative also with all of her matches. She has all these wild and wacky ideas that she just makes happen. She's like a fairy godmother. So, like, I'm for it. 100%. Give it to me and give it to me soon.
Corey just mentioning that I'll just be careless to see if Money in the Bank Saturday will be the kind of energy in London. The London crowds are always pretty high energy as well too, because they don't get these opportunities as much. So I think that you will get higher energy. Toronto is a high energy place; it always is. So I'm not shocked about that. I love places that are high energy because they make cards that much more exciting. So looking forward to it all. Had a great night as well as everybody else here. But we're gonna go around the table and mention where each of us can be found. I'll start with you, Lauren. There's your ticker. Let the people know where they can find you.
Hi, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Lulu Goodnight, LULUGOODNIGHT. But right now, I'm doing most of my work on Twitch and trying to build my audience even more. Having a great time promoting positivity and cozy gaming, and having a place that's really cool and very chill to hang out with your friends and be safe. I think that's a pretty important thing to do. So right now, that's what I'm doing. And if you want to go hang out and be a part of the stream squad, go to Twitch TV/Lauren Goodnight, LURENGOODNIGHT.
Awesome. Mel, how about yourself? There's your ticker. Let them know where you can be found.
You can follow a Melball on Twitter at Collins Melball, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Mastodon at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment with Paramindful. We're dropping an episode tomorrow, an EVP from Alex, the werewolf. Don't want to miss out on that. And you can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube on Friday. We're going to be doing a ladies wrestling showcase episode, which we'll be recording earlier in the week because she's going to be out of town for that awesome panel that she's going to in Miami. And that's it.
Awesome, and very excited for Astra to have that opportunity, and hope that we'll get to hear all about that once that's up and done with. But Andre, let people know where can they find you, what you got coming up there.
You can find me over on Twitter, Mastodon, and Hive at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada Dude. On the Andre Melball Wrestling Talk Facebook page, you can find me over there. You can also find myself and Melball multiple times a week as we drop shows, talking Stardom, talking New Japan, talking local independent wrestling, which we probably have a show coming out in about a week and a half, talking about the local pro wrestling show because I'm dragging Mel to her first LPW show this coming Friday. So, we'll probably be talking about that on a Chop Talk. So you can find all that at youtube.com/@Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk.
Fantastic. And as I get that ticker going down below, that is where you can find me, Bobby Munson, all over the socials, as well as here at our local establishment Thursday nights with my partner in crime, Papa Smokes, the man with the angelic voice, as we navigate you through Ring Respect Radio, a lot of times with our MLW coverage. And then, of course, Sunday with my Brunch Buster brother, Chris Parrish there. We're going to be having fun, as always, as we continue to tick our way towards the big 50 episodes in of this. We are heading out on a raid here on the Twitch side, so give an OLE welcome here as we raid on over. If you are on the YouTube side, you will be joining us for just a few more seconds, but we want to thank each and every one of you for all the support here tonight. Poor Mel being dragged. Hello.
What?
Why am I being dragged? What am I being dragged for?
I don't know.
I'm dragging you to LPW.
Oh. Okay, I get it now. For sure.
Yes, kicking and screaming.
I got it.
All good.
It's like, where am I being dragged? It's only Monday.
And yes, Money in the Bank coverage all weekend as well too. That's up on the calendar. And we thank everybody for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.